Hello, my name is Mike Quebec, and welcome to this next in the series of online fitness courses for the Rocksteady Boxing Parkinson's program. And if you haven't had a chance, please do check out the warm-up video at the beginning of the series. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to need a freestanding bag, swimming pool noodles, 2 of them, and tape. This is what we're going to do. We're going to practice our slipping, bobbing, weaving, and parrying on our freestanding bag. We're going to attach these swimming pool noodles using tape. For our martial arts friends, yes, we're essentially turning our freestanding bag into a sort of wooden dummy. Sort of. We're not going to be kicking this thing, and then we're not going to be pulling too hard on this because we're just attaching it with tape. But we are going to practice our bobbing, weaving, and parrying. You can practice without the swimming pool noodles, but it's a good guide so that way you know how to bob and weave. Not only that, but using the by using the swimming pool noodles, you can practice your parrying, which will aid you in practicing your dexterity, your manual dexterity. So, not only that, So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get our gloves, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, as I said, you will need gloves, and it's a good idea to have hand wraps. I don't have hand wraps right now with me because I'm just going to practice my dexterity on this thing, on these noodles. I'm just going to practice my dexterity on these noodles with the parrying. So with the first part, you actually will not need your gloves yet. So our basic parry is to practice with an open hand. You're going to cup your fingers just like this, lightly, gently pressing down, pressing across. A good way to really practice this, however, is to practice your slips. So you notice my back heel's off the floor. I'm going to practice squatting to one side. So let's go ahead and practice the slips with the parries. We're going to do the slips first, then the parries. Let's do one side first, our lead side. For most of us, that's our left side. Some of you, that's our right side. Let's do 10 to the left, just like this, just a slip, and 10. See, start with your head right there, then 9. Notice I'm doing a squat, and 8, and 7, and 6. Get a little bit of a motion here, a little bit of motion from the legs, and 5, head movement, 4, keeping the hands up, 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to stay on the front side. Now let's practice that inside parry. Like I said, you're making almost like a C hand, keeping your thumb in. You're just here, 10, 9, and you notice you're just practicing 8, just practicing 7 of that. All right, you're not trying to grab it. You're just practicing, just placing your palm. 6 right here, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's combine the parry with the slip. And again, you don't want to hit this thing very hard because this is only attached by tape. It'll fall off, right? So now I practice the slip with the parry. Okay? I'm going to start off slowly, and then we'll gradually build up the speed. So it's like my head is right here in line with this noodle right here. Get a little movement. I take my head offline, bending my knees, doing a little bit of a squat, keeping this hand up, and I practice that parry. Here, let's do 10 of those. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You might have to adjust it from time to time. All right. I'm going to do the slip now with this one, with this noodle. Okay? So, get my chin in, hands are up. First, my head is on line with it. Now my head is offline. I am squatting right here and kind of leaning forward. I'm not leaning back. So let's do 10 of those. Ready? And 10, and 9. Notice I'm going forward. 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Just the parry right here. So here it is. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. See, practicing our dexterity. 4, 3. And I'm not hitting this thing. I'm just placing my palm there. 2, 1. Place it, but place it firmly. Now, we'll practice that parry with the slip going forward. Head is on line, head is off line. There's your slip. Let's do 10 of those. And 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's now go back and forth with that. We'll do front side, rear side, and then only when we go to the rear, that'll count as 1. We're going to go 10 of those. Here to front side, rear side. Ready, and that'll be half, that'll be 1. Right here, and half, and 2, and half, and 3, and half, and 4, and half, and 5, and half, and 6, and half, and 7, and half, and 8, and half, and 9, and half, and 10. Before we put on the gloves, let's get an extra 10 without the parrying now. So we'll get used to using our legs. So without the parrying, now I would like you to do this with your hands up. That way, in case you fall, you'll catch the floor with your hands as opposed to your face. But I'm going to do this with my hands down because I want you to see that you're going on the outside, okay? And you're getting your head offline, okay? All right, front side, rear side, keeping the hands up. And here it is, half, 1, and half, 2, and half, 3, and half, 4, don't forget to breathe, half, 5, and half, 6, and half, 7, and half, 8, and half, 9, and half, 10. Good. What I like about the noodles, in case you miscalculate, this is foam. So let's say you miscalculate and you end up hitting yourself with the noodle. You're not going to hurt yourself, as opposed to a Wing Chun wooden dummy, which is made of hard wood. Well, then again, I don't think Wing Chun guys really do a lot of bobbing and weaving. I think they do a lot of this sort of thing. All right. So we've done the parrying, we've done the slipping. Now, one more thing before we do our counter punches. I'm going to ask you to practice your weaving. Now, again, for safety, if you take a fall forward, you should have your hands up. I'm going to do this without my hands up because I want to illustrate what I'm doing. You see, I'm right here. You're going to squat down, and you're going to roll to one side. I'm going to ask you to roll all the way to this side here. Let me do that again. So I'm going to squat down, roll right here. If you have to, let's say your legs are not doing what you want them to do, and you have to put your hands right on the bag, put your hands right on the bag. Go for that. See, you could do it like this. 1, see, you're squatting this way. Actually, this is kind of a good drill for our Parkinson's folks right here. You can just keep your hands Here, let's do it that way first, and then we'll gradually do it from a boxing stance. So I'm just going to adjust the bag right here. I'm going to put my hands right there. I'm close enough to touch my head to the noodle. I'm going to tuck my chin in. I'm going to squat straight down. Well, first, I'm going to be on the outside here. Now I squat straight down, roll, roll, roll. Clear both noodles. I'm coming up. Squat straight down. Let's make all the way back one. Ready? Half and one. Good. And half and two and half and three and half and four and half and five and half and six and half and seven and half and eight and half and nine and half and 10. Good. So you're at the length of your bent arm. That's the distance you should be when doing this sort of thing. See, your arms are bent right here. This is too far. Right here is obviously too close. All right. So I'm going to have my hands up. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to practice weaving one side, weaving the other. You might have to adjust your feet while you're doing this. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 2. We go 8 more. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 3. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 4. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 5. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 6. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 7. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 8. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 9. Weaving one side, weaving the other. That's 10. And shake loose. Before I put the gloves on, I'm going to demonstrate how you can practice this safely without gloves. Yes, you actually could practice this safely, hitting the bag lightly without gloves, if instead of using a bare fist, you use open palms, okay? So I'm going to ask that you follow along with me lightly. We're not going to hit this thing hard. We're going to go on the outside right here with this first one on my far left. So I'm going to practice that slip again. As I do that slip, I'm going to place my rear like a cross, but instead of doing it as like an overhand right or a straight cross, overhand right or straight cross, I'm going to do it as just a palm. I'm just going to place my right palm on that. So I'm here. I'm going to practice that slip, place that palm, just like that. So yes, you can actually do this without gloves, without damaging your hands. Do it as a palm as opposed to a fist if you don't have gloves. Of course, if you have a bag, you should have gloves, right? But anyway, here we go. 10 of those. And 1. Good. And 2. I'm also practicing my pairing as well. So now we're working our coordination. And 3. See, I'm not even hitting hard. And 4. Here it is. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. 2 more. And 9. Last one. And 10. If I do it without the parry, it'll be like this. I'll do 10 of them here. 1. See? But I got to get my head offline of this thing. See? I don't want to hit like this. I want to go on the outside and hit. Okay? Here it is. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. And 9. And 10. All right. Now, again, being on line with the front, I'm going to slip to the outside. I'm just going to place my front palm right where the face would have been. All right? But I'm also going to practice that parry again too. So I'll do this at the same time. You know, I'm pointing this front shoulder right at the bag. Okay? So parry, slip. It'll be like a jab, but with the palm. Here it is. And 10 of those. And 9. And 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Good. I'm going to do it without the parry, but I'm still going to do the slip to the outside. So I'm here. 1 of these. Got 9 more. And 2. And 3. Using those legs. And 4. And 5. 6. And 7. 8 of these. 9. 10. Okay, let's go front and rear. So we'll go one side, slip, the other side, slip. We're going to go back and forth. 10 total. Each side counts for half. And that's 1. And I'm doing it without the parry right now. Without the parrying, but doing the slipping. That's 2. And that's 3. And that's 4. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. That's 8. That's 9. That's 10. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll add the parrying as well. Here it is. And that's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. We got 6 more. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. 8. 9. That's 10. All right. Unfortunately, or fortunately, because if you purchase gloves, you got to use them, the next series of exercises have to be done with gloves. So let's go ahead and get those. All right, before we do any slipping, bobbing, or weaving, we're just going to practice squatting straight down, right underneath where these things would be. So this is like, these are the guy's hands coming at your face. You're going to drop straight down using your legs. Now, I better have a caveat. If the balance isn't working so well for you today, you can have a chair and hold on to it, see? So right here, I would squat straight down, and then if my balance isn't so great, at least I have a chair to catch myself. All right, so here's what we'll do. We're gonna practice squatting straight down underneath the noodles and placing a jab. This is okay if you can practice it up higher where potentially the quote-unquote face would be. That's even better. Let's do 10 of those. So we're here, squat straight down. There's a jab. That's 1. I'm keeping this hand up. That's 2. Ready? And that's 3. Got to keep this hand up. I'll explain why. And that's 4. And that's 5. And that's 6. That's 7. That's 8. That's 9. That's 10. I'm emphasizing keeping this hand up. Here's the reason why. If you fall, your face eats the floor, the bag. But if you have this up here, you know what I mean? At least it'll still hurt. You might break your wrist, to be honest, but it's better than breaking your face or getting knocked unconscious, right? So keep that hand up in case you take a fall. All right. Okay, let's drop straight down on the other side and throw across. So from here, I'm going to drop straight down here. This is okay. This is better, okay? So if you can place the cross where the face, quote unquote, would be, that's better. So we're here, dropping straight down, and there's a cross. That's one. And that's two. And that's three. It's kind of like an overhand right, actually, as opposed to a cross. So that's four. So it'll come out at an angle. And that's five. And or you just take it straight. That's six. You can do it just straight, too. And that's seven. And that's eight. I'm kind of doing it almost at the same time, right? As I go down. 9. And that's 10. Let's practice the jab cross. We're going to go down on the jab, up, down on the cross, up. So we're going to go down, up, up. That'll be 1. Let's do 10 of those. Here it is. And that's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. And that's 4. And that's 5. And that's 6. And that's 7. And that's 8. And 9. And that's 10. All right, we got to practice our hooks to the body. So the first one, I'm going to be in close. I'm going to drop and practice my weave. As I come up, I'm going to practice turning this hip, rear hand. It would be like hitting the rib cage right here. So here. If I can step a little bit with this rear foot to get myself into position, that would be better. If you can't, just do the best you can, right? If you can't, you throw it from there. So it'll be a drop, weave. I'm not going to come all the way up. There's your rear hand. Let's do 10 of those. And that's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. See? You just relax your legs, bend the knees. That's 4. You kind of have to be in close on this thing. That's 5. And that's 6. And that's 7. And that's 8. And that's 9. And that's 10. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'm here. I'm going to drop and weave to the other side. Now, my back heel's off the floor. I'm going to drop it. Front heel comes up. And you throw right at the where the ribs would be. It'll be your front hand. Let's do 10 of those. Here it is. And that's 1. And that's 2. And that's 3. And that's 4. And that's 5. If you want to dig your head right into the bag, you can. That's 6. See? My head there. And 7. And that's 8. That's 9. And that's 10. Okay, we're going to go back and forth. Let's start with the side we just began that other set with. We'll end with the side that we started the first set with. Okay, so that's 1. And that's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. And that's 5. And That's 6. And that's 7. That's 8. That's 9. And that's 10. For our next drill, I'm going to turn this bag a little bit more where the front side is facing me, or I'll position myself a little bit more where it's facing me. I'm going to practice being right in line with that front as if it could hit me. Then I'm going to push off with my front foot, step back with my rear. Notice what I'm doing is I'm rolling my shoulder right into my ear as my rear hand goes right at my face. This is a little bit of a Philly shell. So I'm here, back, see? Back, and I'm weight shifting, pushing off of my front foot, bending my rear leg, weight shifting, okay? Now, even though I'm dropping this hand, look what my shoulder is doing. I'm literally bringing my front shoulder at my ear, chin is down, rear hand is right there, okay? So I'm in line, in range with the front, as if this is the jab, fade back. Okay, let's do a couple of these shoulder rolls. Shoulder rolls. I'll do 10 of those. And 10, and 9, and 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. You notice you do have to drive off of the ground. You have to push with your front foot. See, I'm pushing to get a little bit of extra speed, okay, extra power. So now, back. Now this hand has to come up, and I'm gonna, see, all right on the outside, practice across. If I don't bring that front hand up, this happens. It's as if I just came back to eat another punch. So when I fade, I drop this. When I come up, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go slowly on that. We're going to do 10 of those, okay? So being right in range, pushing off my front foot, rolling back right here. I come up. Okay, 10. Here it is. And 9 of these. What's that? And 8. And 7. 6. 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And let's do one more. Right here. All right, for our final bit, we're going to mix it up. Okay, so this is how you can mix it up. You could practice your slip to the outside, slip to the outside, weave, weave. That's how you can do it. And when you practice your slips, you can add the parry, parry. Weaving is no parrying, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my gloves off so you can see what my hands are doing when I add the parries. So I'm doing this without the gloves so you can see what I'm doing. Again, thumb is in, fingers are curled. So this is how we mix it up. Parry, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That'll be it. Okay, let's practice that a couple times. Parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 1. And parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 2. And parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 3. And parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 4. Parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 5. Parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 6. Parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 7. And parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 8. Parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 9. And parry with the slip, parry with the slip, weave, weave. That's 10. Let's practice the parries with the slip with placing the opposite palm right where the face would be, okay? So again, you want to practice without gloves so you can really work your dexterity. Don't use a fist, use a palm. That way you don't bust your fingers, right? So here it is. Parry with the slip. There's your cross. Parry with the slip. There's your counter jab. Weave out. I can hit with the cross. Weave. I can hit with the hook. When I throw the hook, rather than throwing it with the fist, I'll throw it with an open palm. Okay? So let's practice those with punches. Here it is. And parry with the slip and jab. Parry with the slip and cross. Weave. There's your cross. Weave. There's your hook. You know, I do have to have the other hand here, right? Otherwise, I'll eat it. Okay, here it is. And 1, 2, 3. That's 1. And there. 2. That's 2. Here it is, right in range. 3. For those of you who watch martial art movies, kind of looks like what you see in those Donnie Yen flicks, right? With Ip Man. Kind of. Well, sort of. Only we're not throwing kicks and we're not throwing bong sao wing blocks. We're doing boxing techniques. But then again, it's all martial arts. It's all there for the same purposes, so it's all good. We got 8 more. And there. There. We have 7 more. 5. 6 more. And 5 more. 4. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. 1. Good. I want to do one more, and I'm going to do this open hand. I want to do the fade, but this time when I come back, I'll just come with that open hand. It's like you're just putting a palm right in the face there, okay? Right in the nose. Oh, and by the way, let's get this out of the way. We're doing this for fitness. We're not doing this for fighting. But if you ever hit a guy in the nose like this, no, you will not, repeat, not drive his nose bones into his brain. The nose structure isn't like that. Okay, it's an urban myth. All right, so we're going to practice here. Push. Hey, that's a quick one, right? And there's 2. And there's 3. We got 9 more. Let's do 12. Let's do 12 on this one. Let's do 9 more. Do 8 more. 7 more. 6 more, 5 more, 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, last one. Practice that now with the hook. See, we're here, and you will have to step out and pivot. So here's the pivot. See, I'm here, pivoting out. As I pivot out, there's my hook. I'll do this with an open palm. Do this with an open palm. Okay, so that way we can practice our dexterity. So if I'm here, pivot. As I do the pivot, open palm. So slip back or fade back, shoulder roll back, pivot out. Make sure you don't damage this thing. Well, it won't damage, but then you have to put it back on. Okay, so here it is. Let's shoulder roll and pivot out and throw a hook. Here we go. That's one. I have to push off of this foot here. Right here. Since my weight's there, I'm going to push. There's 2. And shoulder roll. That's 3. See if I can do them at the same time. That's 4. Here it is. That's 5. That's 6. That's 7. 8. 9. 10. All right. So now you could just have fun with it. You could practice your slips on one side, slips on the other, weave, weave, pivot back, shoulder roll, shoulder roll, shoulder roll, cross, shoulder roll, cross, shoulder roll, jab. You just have fun with it and play around with it at your own pace. You can just drop straight down, parry, 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 cross. That's another common one. See, you can do this one, parry, cross. But I have to have this other hand up, otherwise I eat it, right? So here, that's a fun one to do. And that's actually one they actually do in the boxing ring, parry, cross, right? You can practice that. You can practice this right here, parry, jab. Parry, jab. It'll be a quick one. Parry, jab. Good drill to practice. All right? Works your dexterity. Works your coordination. All right? And want to do something illegal in the boxing ring, you can. You're not supposed to hold them like this, though a lot of boxers out of Mexico and Latin American countries, they do this. So they'll practice this. They'll hold the guy this way. That way they're technically not breaking the rules. Then they'll throw some things quickly and then let go. Okay. But since we're not going in the boxing ring, you could practice this. See? Pressing in with the jab, holding there, practice across. Pressing in with the jab. See? So you can go. Okay. Now it really looks like Wing Chun. Okay, we're doing it more as a dirty boxing, right? But there's your parry cross, parry jab, parry cross, parry jab. You can play around with it, practice your weave, weave. Another thing you can do is start varying your rhythm. So what I mean by that is, I've been doing it at a steady mono rhythm, right? The same rhythm. There, there. But you can practice there. Play around, play around. That's 1, that's 2. Then you change up the speed, right? That's a slow one, slow one. That's a quick one. You can change up your speed. That's a fun thing to do for coordination. All right, so hope you enjoyed this one. This is a fun one. Again, all you need to modify is you need some pool noodles and some tape. Wrap it around, put it where the quote-unquote arms and shoulders would be, and near where the quote-unquote face would be. And you can simulate some sparring without sparring. Of course, our main purpose is for coordination, dexterity, and but that makes for an interesting workout. Thank you, and we'll catch you next time. Please stay safe.